Hello, everybody. Have you ever had something that you thought was one thing, but it turned out to be something else entirely? Well, my friends, for me lately, it has been on this topic of autonomy. So today I'm here with my beautiful friend and co creator, my beautiful teammate, Alini. And we were having some amazing business behind the scene conversations that we wanted to share with you on this topic. Now, let me back up a little bit for anybody who is wondering, what are you talking about? So, I am a facilitator of this beautiful field of work called access consciousness. And among many other things, this is one of the things that I get to do. How did I get so lucky? So, one of the things that we do in this um, field of work called access consciousness is we're always engaging with energy, engaging with everything at a level of energy. And so, one of the awarenesses that have been super recent in this world have been around autonomy. And you know how autonomy, when you look at it, sounds like something that's actually useful. And for the longest time, I was trying to create my life from this autonomous space to just make sure I have me and I can function as me in the world. And until this whole thing came up in one of the classes that invited us to look at, are you an autonomous being or are you an infinite being? Now, again, if you cognitively engage with this, you can to an extent, but I invite you for a second to energetically tap into the difference between it because you sense it, whether you realize it or not. Words carry energy, and we use words to basically communicate that which is nonverbal, that which is energetic. So look at that for yourself. Are you an autonomous being? Are you an infinite being? Energetically, what is the sense that you deviate towards or get pulled towards? So, anyway, that was the beginning of a massive change in my world and also in my business. I actually realized that there's been a lot of change and choices we've been making in the business behind the scenes for almost a year now. And this whole autonomy piece was something that really made a lot of different things that weren't making sense started making sense. And I realized that autonomy was actually killing my business. The way of operating, where I'm trying to create this autonomous business, is actually not generative. Because how much do you have to cut out contribution from elements you cannot even begin to define, but the elements that run the freaking universe? When you're doing autonomy, how much do you have to cut out from them? How much do you have to separate from them to create this insular sense of you that, even though you feel like you have it, still doesn't really give you that sense of and the magic of oneness that shouldn't an infinite being have as their life and reality, including with matters like business? Oftentimes we separate ourselves from the that which we connect as our spirituality and then the practicalities of life. But what if they're not two separate things? What is truly available beyond autonomy that we thought we have to do to control and to survive in our world? And sure, it works. It will help you survive if that's what your target is. Is your target to survive, or are you interested in thriving? So these are some things, some conversations Alini and I were having this morning through some voice messages, and I thought we should be just having this conversation with the world. So I'll let Alini speak now because I've been chatting and I'm like,
No, but your introduction was amazing because, like, actually, how much we were taught that in this autonomy field, actually, we are protecting our authenticity. Like, how much of autonomy we use it, for example, when we have some idea for a business, for a product or a service, it's almost like this automatic tool to go to this autonomy, to just like, no, this is my idea, how much can I just protect this to put this outside to the world, and
Oh
how
my
much
God.
actually, yeah, we are just limiting everything that can show up and everyone that could connect with the creation.
Truly, truly. And one of the things that actually Alini asked me a question that really got me to realize this morning was how probably a year ago, but more proactively a few months ago, there was a moment where I had this sliver of possibility that was really just shining its light in my face. And what we started doing was we have a mighty team of majors. And what we started doing, Alini and I started collaborating so much more on those energies and really extrapolating on them to see how we can actualize them in the world and as our business reality. And another beautiful teammate we have who helps us with writing and stuff. The three of us started working together. And there's another teammate that we have who is this magical creator who helps us with a lot of social creations and graphics and stuff like that. And what I thought my point of view was, I thought that I don't want to disturb her. So I'll fill her in. I don't want to like bother her as I'm figuring out what this is when I don't really know exactly where I don't want to confuse her because I don't have a lot of clarity with a lot of things. I want to shell it out and then bring it to like team as a whole. And just this morning I realized that was me creating this insular universe and not truly creating in oneness, which includes everyone and everybody. And I didn't really realize that this autonomy, this is one example, but in so many insidious ways, often it shows up like this. It shows up like something that feels very right. There's a lot of righteousness around your autonomy. This is me. And the righteous sense of righteousness that goes with that. So there's a lot of that occurs. And I think we lost Aline here for a second, but I think she'll hop back on. So we'll keep going. So, but that's just a part of a fraction of, not even a fraction of, I'd say, what's available and what we can be receiving from and creating in communion from in the world. And I know all of these words can feel so esoteric and feel so spiritual, but you gotta, like I said, get to the practicalities of life. But this is one of the demands that really got me to make this pivot in the business more proactively in the last several months. But literally, it started years ago, was where I realized that no, we don't we don't have to create in isolation. We don't have to create in these insular ways. And I get that part where sometimes it like creating not in isolation and including everyone is not an excuse or a free pass for you to like go off your awareness. Not at all. When you're creating from oneness and not separation, which by the way, all that autonomy is all about separation. When we're creating from that space of oneness, where we include those elements that we often relegate in the spiritual world or the fantasy world or maybe even the consciousness world, when we start blending those walls and barriers that we've created, we can create our businesses in such a different way. People get to contribute to us in such a different and dynamic way. So it's been blowing my mind, you guys, how this whole autonomy conversation, awareness rather, that came up in one of the recent Access classes. And I know we've been evolving ever since within the world of Access consciousness. Things move this fast. And I know that we're evolving into newer conversations around this space and everything that expands from that space of expansion, we have access to what next that expands things even more. And I still get this autonomy piece has been so crucial for me. Like I can totally see 10 years from now looking back and being like, oh, remember when I realized that I was doing autonomy and things changed? And right now I'm right in the middle of that change, and my team is right in the middle of change. we're changing so much, evolving so much, creating things very differently. A lot of that hasn't yet come to the forefront of things like the website and stuff. We're in the works changing all of that too, by the way. So all of that will be coming. But for this conversation, I just wanted to include you guys in to what we were exploring around how insidiously we function from separation or these superior points of views. Like, it'll sound bizarre to you, but the point of view that I don't want to disturb somebody, or kind of like I don't want to be a bother. I grew up with that, you guys, wanting to take care of others, wanting to choose on behalf of others. And I just realized in a very visceral sense this morning that I was just being an asshole with that. Like, everyone has choice, and every element of the universe desires to contribute if you and I would allow ourselves to receive. And to me, that is the beauty of this space that opens up beyond autonomy. And I really, really think that it's so amazing that we allow ourselves to really explore this topic of what's available beyond autonomy. What is autonomy, first of all, to even clarify that, and to really look at, cool, is that the energy I'd like my life and my future to be? What is the energy I'd like my life and my future to be? And so, what does this awareness and conversation has to offer to us that would allow us to choose something different? And so, Alini is back. Let me quickly add her to the stage. Welcome back.
My internet was playing autonomy.
That's so
I
funny.
was just kicking off the live.
Well, how does it get any better than that?
Yeah. How the
Cool. So I was just filling everyone up on like a conversation on autonomy and how I was doing autonomy without realizing that I was doing autonomy, where I was like trying to protect and trying to choose for others and trying to, be, I don't know, the caretaker, just making sure I'm not bothering anyone. And how much on the surface, when you see someone do that, these are the kind of behaviors that are appreciated in the world. And so, but
Yeah,
if
and
you
how much
truly look,
people misunderstand this as caring, as really nurturing a connection with someone. Like when you are trying to avoid something for the person.
yeah, yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And if you truly look at it, is that an empowering choice to make? Is that truly kind? Or is that being like a superior asshole, which I was, by the way, being with my business, with my team, and my autonomy was killing my business. So I'm just so, so grateful that this conversation has become available. And like I was sharing earlier, Alini, before you joined, how access is so amazing and dynamic. Things keep expanding. Like, we don't just hold on to any awareness, we keep moving with it. And so many new dynamic awarenesses have since expanded from this autonomy conversation. And I know that personally for me, this is such a massive piece that I have committed to overcome. I don't even know what it's going to take, but I'm having the freedom beyond autonomy, the creation beyond autonomy. What is it like to create in oneness? Because that has been my ask. Like, my teenagers know that for so long, to create in a different way, in a way that I know is possible. So, anyway, I hope this sort of share invites you and inspires you to look in your life where you might be doing autonomy, where you might not have realized that this might be autonomy, and where can you allow the universe and the magical elements that are in the universe, including people, to contribute to you and your creation of your life, your living, your business, however you love creating your life more. And if you would like to explore this further with us and dive in even deeper, you're very welcome to come play with us this Thursday, this week, as of when we're recording this, which is October 17th, 2024. We are doing a call called Freedom Beyond Autonomy, and you are so warmly welcome to come play with us and really dive into what this is for you and what else is possible. Alini, would you like to say a few words as we wrap up?
Yeah, it's just like this question, what if we don't have to protect ourselves anymore from anything? What if now is really this space that we can receive without any barriers?
I love that. And how does that look like in the practicalities of your life? Amazing. So, see you guys hopefully around and maybe even on the call. Come join us. Bye bye. Oh my God. We're still on. Hi. We have to go live on another platform. So I'm like,